screenings of Joker 2 have started to happen, and we now officially got our first details on the response to the first wave of screenings. Now, mind you, this is not the full film. This is a cut of the film that is going to be screened, and then they take the reception and adjust accordingly. So let's talk about the first reception. So again, multiple cuts of this film will be screened, leading to the final cut that will be screened about a month out before release, and that's the one that will get locked in. So these early screenings are indicative and sort of point at what needs to be fixed for a studio. So Joker 2, as far as we know, has now had its first run. So the reception is saying that so far the editing is an issue, and that there are a couple of script issues that will obviously be addressed with responses, but that overall it is pretty solid and very much in line with the first film. Now, going a little further into it, the film is apparently super bloody, very chaotic, has an aggressive edge on it, and somewhat surreal, and is described as being surrealistic. When it comes to the performances, Joaquin as great as he was in the first film, and Lady Gaga is set to be right there on par with him, top-notch acting. Now, apparently this is where things get a little confusing, and I've seen other people say, yep, I was at a screening and I don't know how to feel about this. The musical stuff. Apparently it is and as the first report describes it, not handled in a convenient way. Yes, there is singing and dancing, but the way it's handled is very different. Described as risky, but also genius. Other people who said that they were at screenings said that they were somewhat taken back by it and felt like it didn't belong, while others said it felt perfect in there because, hey, their mind doesn't make sense, so it doesn't make sense in the film. So, however you interpret it, I guess. When it comes to how much Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn is in it, reportedly she is either equal or surpasses the runtime of Joker in the film. That she's sort of the focus. Now, this also makes sense as we got his story, so it's going to be about, twisting her, bending her to his will, and doing whatever. It's kind of, the natural progression. Apparently, there are singing duets, there's more of her singing, and there's a mixture of old classic and new stuff in here to make it a little bit more modern. And the last thing to note here is that apparently the film is expected to land somewhere right around where the first film did. So if you're keeping up with the scores, somewhere in the 60s for Rotten Tomatoes, if you care about that thing. So there we go, our first details on Joker 2. It seems like it's exactly what people would want, so let's wait for our first trailer and see how it goes.